Hey, Michelle.
Hello, Mel. Look at you in the beautiful backyard. Me on the couch because it's, well, A, I don't have a backyard, and B, it's too damn cold here in Melbourne.
Yeah, we were just talking about it's a holiday when you and I are doing this live here in the States, Memorial Day. So, a day of remembrance, for particularly for people like me who have military in the family going back many years.
Yeah, and for us here in Australia, it's National Reconciliation Week, which is a really important week, particularly on the journey that we must take for reconciliation with our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander folks here in Australia. So this is the week when we talk about truth telling and we remember the stolen generations, and the historic land deals, what we call Mabo deals done, and really as part of 97% of our population, the non-Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander, I'm spending this week trying to learn more about how to be a really active ally for the oldest living culture in the world. So yeah, two significant weeks and days in our calendars this week.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And you and I've got a couple of things to talk about. I wanted to share that there was a bit of confusion that came up with one of our viewers that I wanted to share with you. So, dear viewers, these live streams are not actually Lead to Soar. We promote Lead to Soar on these live streams, but the live streams we do like this are just us getting together to talk to you, to chat with you about what's going on. But Lead to Soar is an actual produced podcast, an audio only podcast that you can download on places like iTunes or Google Podcast, or you can access it on the web, and they're edited and produced and everything. But these are just us communicating with you.
Yeah, we this is us shooting the breeze. Yeah, we spend a lot more time researching and preparing, and a lot more time, full stop, on our Lead to Soar episodes. All right, that's good feedback to hear.
Yeah,
So
yep.
glad you could clarify.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so now let's get to the juicy part that's on our minds today. So we want to talk about the live workshop that we're doing when Michelle comes to the US in August. It's called Leadership Is. Leadership is a workshop for women. And let me just turn it over to you, Michelle. What can attendees expect from this workshop?
So they can expect. Well, I guess let's talk about the attendee first. And she is someone who is at any career stage. So we are saying that no matter what career stage you're at, this is a retreat for you. So it's 2 days. So whether you're at career start, whether you're trying for success in the middle part of your career or in middle management, or you're in a senior executive role or heading that way. So it's for all career stages. She is a woman who is committed to having a career that soars. So that means that she takes time to develop her critical leadership skills. And leadership isn't something that is you're born with, although there are certainly people who have some attributes and characteristics that are inherent. Leadership is like any other skill. It can be taught, it can be learned, but of course it must be practiced, and you must keep up with contemporary information, practices, techniques. So she's committed to building her skills and her continuing professional development. She's committed to meeting other women like her and she wants to be in environments. And I was going to use the term like-minded, Mel, but I actually don't want to use that, because like-minded for me, I think we drift into the danger of groupthink, which of course is the enemy of my work, diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as innovation and what have you. But she wants to be in an environment which is safe, because it's with other ambitious women who are unafraid to express their ambition and their aspirations to live a life well lived. So it's really, she's someone who wants to contribute to and learn from women who have those same kind of mindsets and aspirations as she does. Because let's face it, a lot of the time, women are given messaging, overt and covert, about dialing it down, dialing down the ambition. So she's someone who doesn't want to dial down her ambition and her aspirations. And then finally, she's someone who really wants to learn or enhance her strategic networking skills, because networking is working. And we will be, and many of you who have listened to Mel and I talk before know that I joke about, I hate to have to choose my favourite child when it comes to topics that we talk about, but I've got to say strategic networking would have to be one of my favourite programs and content to teach and share, and watch women master the skill of. So she's committed to learning and enhancing her strategic networking skills and building and extending her strategic network of powerful women. So that's who she is. And she's also someone who aspires to be who that woman is. So yeah,
Well,
that's who.
and I'm glad you took it down this path. So maybe let me just add to that a lot of women might have a hard time embracing ambition as part of their identity, and I think that goes to this overt, sometimes covert messaging that women get about things around that word, right? So even for women who don't embrace ambition as part of their identity, I think if women aspire to advance in their career, if they aspire to really any level of leadership, not necessarily the C-suite, but any level of leadership above where they sit today, we're here to support those types of women. So thank you for
Absolutely.
clarifying.
And I also want to build on the ambition piece. She's ambitious to achieve and sustain extraordinary goals for her organisation, whether that be the organisation that she's in paid work with, whether it be a community organisation. And that's front of mind for me, Mel, because I spent the weekend working, but I spent the weekend with a group of life-saving women, literally lifesavers. We spent a weekend doing a whole bunch of design thinking around how to help women really live lives well lived whilst they're life saving. So community organisations and volunteerism as well is, leadership manifests itself at every level, in all roles, in all organisations, no matter whether they're for profit, for purpose, community, healthcare, whatever it may be. So she's ambitious for the goals of the organisation she's involved with to be achieved and sustained through her work. So I think ambition is such a great. It's great fodder for I guess debunking myths and demystifying what it actually means and helping us reset our own minds about ambition and what it can be.
Right. So let's bring it back around for our viewers to the workshop Leadership Is. So we've got this profile of the types of women that this workshop is for. What can attendees expect from the workshop?
So attendees can expect to have a deep dive into our leadership definition, which is from Susan Colantuno, the author of No Ceiling, No Walls, and our co-founder in in A Career That Soars. So leadership is using the greatness in you to achieve and sustain extraordinary outcomes by engaging the greatness in others. every woman in attendance is going to really deeply understand what leadership is, each part of our three-part leadership definition through workshops and experiences, really very blended, experiential, hands-on learning. So we're going to go through a number of topics, those 3 topics as the frame for the 2 days. It's going to be augmented with, so I'll do, because I guess that's my sweet spot, is those 3, the content around that 3-part leadership definition. We're going to have Amal with us, Amal Yusuf from Delta Airlines, who is, and in this week's Lead to Soar podcast, you must listen about how Amal is a mover and a shaker in her organisation for Delta, as well as more broadly in society, for the advancement of women and girls. And she knows how to really maximise value in employee resource networks, getting women's groups together and creating and sustaining extraordinary outcomes. So Amal's going to be helping us really harness the power of being a worker in an organisation and making change. And then, of course, Mel, you're going to bring what I really love to learn from you to the workshop, which is around, well, frankly, how to get shit done, set really good goals, but also the systems and the processes to make goal setting more than what I do, which is kind of hope, hope is not a strategy, right? So, yeah, you're going to wrap us up in some really good, get shit done stuff. So we're going to walk away with actionable insights about ourselves and where we want to take our leadership career. We're going to walk away with inspiration from all 3 of us, and we're also going to walk away with actions and an action plan, a career plan with you with goals and methods and techniques to stay on track. And of course, everyone who comes, whether they're existing members of a Career That Soars or they're coming on, will become part of our Career That Soars community as part of their ticket.
Absolutely. And I want to kind of get us to wrap up here with a couple things, including, this is not a conference. This is going to be a smaller cohort style workshop. And that's intentional because we want the attendees to get the attention that they deserve from all of the folks who are leading the workshop, Michelle, myself, Amal. And then we've got several sponsorship packages that are open right now. So for anyone out there listening, if you think your company might be interested in sending a small group of women to an event like this, or if you know someone who is a leader in an organization that's serious about supporting their female talent pipeline, we'd love to be connected with them to discuss that opportunity with them. And that's what this is. This is really an opportunity to invest in yourself if you're thinking about coming on your own, or for you as a leader to invest in your people. What do you want to add to that, Michelle?
I want to add that I've, like most people during this last couple of years, I've got someone at my door, and I'm just going to put myself on mute while I answer my doorbell, Mel. So
okay,
you keep the conversation going.
Okay, can do. Oh,
hello,
Michelle, you gotta.
Okay, coming down. Thank you. Okay. I'm here.
You got to let me back in. Okay, there we go.
Sorry, Mel.
No worries. All right. So while Michelle is taking care of getting her package, I will keep going here for a moment. So what we're looking for in sponsors, which is what we would really call partners. We see the companies that work with us, including the companies that are corporate members of a Career That Soars, companies like the Toll Group and Finder.com and Delta Airlines. They're our partners because we're on a mission together to support the female talent pipeline and to close the gender leadership gap at the top. So, when I was talking to a friend of mine about this, one of the things that I said is, this isn't always super sexy what we're doing and what we're talking about. We're not talking about getting together for a spa day or fluffy things like that. We're here to equip women with what they need to earn their position at the top. And what the research shows us is that women are underguided and undermentored in business, strategic, and financial acumen. And that aligns to the middle piece of the leadership definition that Michelle was talking about, which is achieving and sustaining extraordinary outcomes for the business. So that's why our work inside A Career That Soars and a lot of our emphasis in this workshop, Leadership is on business, strategic, and financial acumen. So we want to help women get to the top of organizations, and we're looking for sponsors, partners who are serious about investing in their female talent pipeline to get there. Welcome back, Michelle.
Thank you. So I flew up and down the stairs, knocked you out of the live broadcast. So, folks, this is really authentic and live, not pre-recorded. Oh, my goodness. You did a good job, Mel.
Thanks, Michelle.
And yeah, so this really is a call to action for leaders in organisations to say, what might we do to support our women to achieve and sustain extraordinary outcomes for themselves and for the organisation. So hit us up if you want some more information. It's deliberately accessible in all respects of that word, so that we can capture a whole bunch of women who perhaps might not ordinarily have opportunities to learn from folks like Mel, Amal, and myself. So don't miss the opportunity, and you'll hear us talking about it more in the future. But look, this, I can guarantee you, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I spend sets of days with women, groups of women, and as I said, I've just spent 2 days with a group of women, and I got a really nice bit of feedback from one of the leaders of the group, the coordinators, who just said they were looking for inspiration and entertainment as well as get shit done. They weren't sure they were going to get all of it, and they did from me. So I know how to put on a show, but I know how to give women what they need in terms of taking their career forward. And the fact that I get to work with Mel and Amal, who've got just this very different but such complementary experience to me, and are at different career stages and life stages, means we've just got this lovely cross section of experienced women, and we're sharing our wisdom and our content and our frameworks with women. It's honestly, I know self-praise is no praise at all, but it will be shit hot.
We promise to deliver. So to wrap us up, this live cast that we do weekly is not Lead to Soar. Lead to Soar is the podcast that we produce that you can get wherever you find podcasts and at leadtosoar.com. And the workshop that we've been talking about, Leadership Is, you can find information about it on our podcast webpage. So leadtosoar.com is the podcast
and I'll drop
page.
the links into the comments as well, Mel. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, and then the workshop information you can find for sponsors at leadtosoar.com/sponsor.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Michelle.
My pleasure.
This was a real one.
It had to happen at some point. Oh my goodness. All right, folks, we will see you back. I don't know. I did promise last week, because I'm taking a break at the end of this week, so we'll probably do something next week. But the week after, I'm off the grid. So
okay, I'll be around. I'll do one solo.
You will. All right, folks. See you later. See you, Mel.
Okay. Bye.